My name is Ronald Kalifungwa, and I am a pastor at Lusaka Baptist Church. We have been considering the doctrine of God, more specifically His attributes, and we have looked at the fact that He exists. We have also looked at the fact that He is self-existent. We have looked at the fact of His immutability and His infinitude. In this meditation, we are going to consider the fact that He knows. In other words, we'll do a reflection on the knowledge of God. According to Psalm 139, verse 1 through to 6, which is all on the knowledge of God, we are reminded that God knows everything. He knows when we sit, He knows when we rise, He knows when we are lying down. And David exclaims in wonder and amazement at that when he says, "Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain it." But what is it for God to know? It is for Him to have an intellectual apprehension of truth. It is for Him to know all things, things that are possible and things that are actual. There is nothing that God does not know. What are the characteristics of this knowledge of God? There are several, and I will just outline them for us very quickly. First of all, the knowledge of God is intuitive. That is to say, He discerns all things directly and immediately by His own light. He doesn't know as we know, by experience or by study or by discussing. Everything is right there before the eyes of God. He knows them intuitively. The knowledge of God is not just intuitive, it is comprehensive. In other words, He knows everything that there is to be known. He knows every posture, every gesture, every pursuit that you undertake, according to Psalm 139. He knows every state you may be in, every thought that passes through your mind. All of that is known of God. And He doesn't just know comprehensively, He also knows thoroughly. The psalmist in Psalm 139, verse 1 and verse 3 and verse 5, testifies to the fact that He knows every word we utter. He knows every thought that crosses through our minds, and He knows these things thoroughly. He knows your past, He knows your present, He knows your future. What is important, of course, is to be alive to the implications of all that upon us. The realization of the fact that God knows must move you to worship Him, to wonder, to be in amazement, but it must also assure you, when you do good, people may not be aware of it, or they may, but may not care, but God knows. And that is all that matters, really. And God may reward you for the good that you do. And God will also know about what you are doing in private. Maybe you are living a life of sin in private, and you cannot hide from the knowledge of God. The realization that He knows must always move you to come in the open, to confess, and to look at the resources God has laid before you in order to secure forgiveness. And Christ, as always, is the means there is for you to come to God. Through Him you can be forgiven. Through Him you can be at one with God. May He bless you as you reflect on this. Amen.